So they're about to be reacting to the worst truth or dare deaths ever. Now, honestly, bro, it comes to a point, bro. It comes to a point where you have to get a mind of your own and say, nah, that's too much. Nah, you crazy. You do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Stop the people pleasing. But let's see what they talking about. Yes, sir.
Jump if you dare. On May 24th,
Jump if you
2023,
dare.
just days after graduating high school, 18-year-old Cameron Robbins from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, was celebrating with several hundred classmates on a trip to the Bahamas. They were staying at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort in Nassau. That evening, the group attended a sunset.
I think I heard about this before. I definitely heard about this before. Is they gonna be on like a cruise and he gonna jump off and then just lose him at sea because he got drunk underage? Let's see.
Party cruise aboard Blackbeard's Revenge, a pirate-themed party boat. Around 9:40 p.m., near the uninhabited Athol Island northeast of Nassau,
I definitely heard this story. I was in school and I heard this story.
dared Cameron to jump off the boat into the dark ocean. Several students tried to grab him and stop him. They reached for him, attempting to hold him back, but Cameron broke free from their grip. He jumped into the water. Footage captured the aftermath. Cameron could be seen swimming in the dark waters. Friends threw a life preserver toward him. People screamed, "Grab the buoy! Hey, the buoy!" They were trying desperately to direct him to the flotation device, but Cameron appeared to swim away from it. Within seconds, he vanished from view. The boat remained anchored for hours as students searched frantically. The U.S. Coast Guard, Royal Bahamas Defense Force, and United Cajun Navy searched the waters until about 3 a.m. Royal Bahamas Defense Force Commodore Raymond King called the area really shark-infested. He said,
Damn, he did run into a shark, but sharks don't really feed until like they sense blood. Or is that just like in most cases, but they actually do feed, you know?
probability of survival decreases significantly, particularly if a person did not have on a life vest, and particularly if a person is perceived to be intoxicated. The search covered 325 miles over 2 days. On May 27th, authorities called off the search. Cameron Robbins was officially designated lost at sea. His body...
Damn, that's kind of one of the worst ways to go out, bro. Your family can't even get your body to either cremate you or bury you. Damn, that's a terrible way to go out.
never recovered.
R.I.P.
A
him,
memorial
man.
service was held at Broadmoor United Methodist Church in Baton Rouge. Cameron was described by his baseball coach as a fierce competitor and by his family as funny and kind-hearted. My darkest secret. On May 28,
My darkest
2018,
secret.
in the early hours of the morning, a neighbor looked out her window in Haysham, Lancashire, and saw flames at 94-year-old Mary Gregory's bungalow. Firefighters rushed to the scene and found Mrs. Gregory unconscious in the conservatory, suffering from smoke inhalation. She was treated by paramedics and rushed to Royal Lancaster Hospital, but died for
That's a hospital? What year was
smoke
this?
inhalation. She was treated by
That
paramedics and
hospital
rushed
looked
to
like a
Royal Lancaster.
castle. Don't it look like a castle? Alright, that's an interesting looking hospital, if I do say
But
so
died 4
myself.
days later. An investigation by Lancashire Fire and Rescue Service concluded the most probable cause was a dropped or carelessly discarded cigarette. Mrs. Gregory was a heavy smoker with dementia. The coroner recorded a verdict of accidental death. The case was closed. Then, weeks after the funeral, during a game of Truth or Dare with two friends, 17-year-old Tiernan Darnton revealed his darkest secret. He told them, "I have a secret I haven't told anyone. I may have killed someone."
No.
His friends didn't believe him.
No. I hope that nigga went to jail. Dude just killed somebody's grandma. Oh, we dumb teenagers,
He
bro.
persuaded them to keep quiet. But in May 2019, during a counseling session,
Man, that was
Darnton
recent.
mentioned a friend who could send me to prison cause of what he knows. He added that he had felt powerful at Mrs. Gregory's funeral because he knew what had happened, and everyone else in the room didn't. The counselor ended the session by saying, "I think you're trying to tell me you've killed someone." Darnton mouthed, "Yes." Police reopened the case.
Your therapist can do that? I thought your talks with your therapist was confidential. See, that's why I don't do that therapy shit. I'm my own therapist. But he definitely wrong for what he did. Then he's just going around telling people, like, that's something you take to your grave. Boy, you crazy as hell.
Discovered drawings of Mrs. Gregory's floor plan with labels like "good hiding place" and "quick exit." Evidence showed he had set the curtains on fire with a lighter, unplugged the phone, disabled a smoke alarm, and
Nah, throw that nigga under the jail, bro. I'm thinking he did like something stupid on accident, bro. This is premeditated death, a
The tape
premeditated murder. Come on, bro.
in front of the conservatory doors to block her escape.
Oh yeah.
Investigators found disturbing searches under 18 murder and how long do murderers serve in prison?
Bro, what
In November
reason would he have to want to off that old bro? You are weird. You are overly weird.
2021, Darnton was convicted of murder and sentenced to life with a minimum of 15 years. The bridge incident.
What is the point of the minimum of 15 years? So I'm assuming he probably got parole. That nigga don't deserve no damn parole, bro.
Summer day in 2024, two teenagers, ages 15 and 16, were part of a group chat where dares were being shared among friends. The conversation turned to jumping off a bridge into Lake Hartwell, South Carolina. The pressure mounted through messages. Other teens egged them on. The two decided to go through with it. They drove to the bridge and climbed onto the railing. The drop to the water below was significant. Without hesitation, both teens
So this where the famous saying, this is where the famous saying, if your friend is gonna jump off a bridge, you gonna jump off a bridge too. This where that came from. Cause my mama used to always say it. Not even just my mama, any adult with any type of discipline over me said, if your friends do it, you gonna do it too. Y'all literally gave them that saying, bro. These niggas are idiots.
climbed onto the
bro.
railing.
Why are you jumping
The drop
off a
to the water
bridge?
below was significant. Without hesitation, both teens jumped. They plunged into Lake Hartwell. Friends watching from the shore expected to see them surface. Seconds passed, then minutes.
That's because they hit that water. It feel like concrete. Crazy as hell.
Neither came back up. Emergency services were called immediately. Dive teams searched the lake. Eventually, both bodies were recovered. Neither teen had made it back to shore. The local community was devastated. Candlelight vigils were held. Parents gathered, holding candles and photographs of the two teenagers. Flowers and messages were left at the bridge. In the days that followed, parents across the community warned about peer pressure games spreading through social media. The group chat that had contained the dare was examined by authorities. Friends who had participated in encouraging the jump were left traumatized. Counselors were brought into local schools.
But it's like, bro, you can't blame nobody for that, bro. You can't really blame nobody for that. If somebody tell me to jump off a bridge, I'm not jumping off no bridge. It's like you gotta have some sense of common sense and a will to live. I guess I don't know, bro. It's just some stupid stuff. I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was younger, but this is one of the things that I would have not done. You know, let's say that.
Deaths sparked conversations about the deadly consequences of online dares. The bridge where the teenagers
Don't
jumped
blame that
became a
on that,
memorial
bro.
site. Parents begged other teenagers to think before accepting dangerous dares, no matter how much pressure they felt from their peers. The community mourned two young lives lost to a moment of reckless decision-making. The boiling water incident. On March 22,
No.
2017, in Florida, 8-year-old Kihari Pope was at a sleepover with her cousin and friends. The children decided to play Truth or Dare. The game started innocently enough. Then, someone dared Kiari to drink boiling water through a straw. The
Okay, look. I'm gonna tell y'all something, but don't judge me. So look, when I was younger, I was chilling with my siblings, my sister and my brother Tremaine. He said I can drink really hot water. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we dumbass kids. We warm it up for a bit. He drink it. Nope, not hot. We warm it up again. He drink it. Not hot. Eventually it got hot. And then I think he burned his mouth a little bit. That's my little brother though. I love him. But it's like it wasn't no malicious intent around it. He said he can drink hot water. So it's like, okay, we're gonna keep getting this water hotter and hotter till, you know, you can't drink it no more on some dumb kid shit, bro. Oh man, I know he still remember that to this day. When I'm done with this stream, I'm gonna go call him and see how he's going, cause that's fucked up. But back to the
children thought it
little
would be
side
funny to see
story,
if
bro.
she would actually do it. Kihari
Nigga, we
accepted
got our ass whooped. Me and my sister, boy.
She put the straw to her lips and drank the scalding liquid. Immediately, she began screaming in agony. The boiling water burned her mouth, throat, and lungs. She collapsed.
See?
The adults rushed.
See, he didn't get that much. He just we didn't have it in a straw. It was in a cup. So he sipped it and it burnt his mouth. It didn't get down. Thank God, cause I'm looking back at it. That was a dumb thing to do, cause that could have went worse. That could have, boy.
The hospital. Doctors discovered she had suffered severe internal burns to her throat and respiratory system. Kihari was placed in intensive care. She underwent multiple surgeries. For months, she lived with severe complications from the burns. Her airway was damaged. She struggled to breathe. The internal injuries were catastrophic. Despite the medical team's efforts, Kiari's condition continued to deteriorate. The damage to her throat and lungs was too extensive. Eventually,
And look, this is why my daughter will not be going to sleepovers. I'm sorry. They can sleep over at my house when I'm not here, like, cause I understand that I grew up in a house full of girls, so it's like I go spend the night somewhere, but it's like I'm not spending my baby not going to spend the night at nobody's house, cause now what happened to the parents that was over them kids that was watching the sleepover? You know what I'm saying?
months
It's all
later, she
bad.
died from the injuries sustained from drinking the boiling
Did
water.
I start
The
recording?
case shocked the nation.
I did.
Parents were horrified that such a simple dare could result in death. Warning messages spread across social media about the deadly risks of dares among
Yeah,
children.
RP to that little girl,
Kihari's
man.
family spoke out, hoping to prevent other children from accepting dangerous dares. Her death became a cautionary tale in schools across the country. The children who had dared her to drink the boiling water were left traumatized by what had happened. Kihari Pope was just 8 years old.
Oh my God, look at this baby, bro. That hurt the soul, bro. I hate to hear that happen to such a young, beautiful soul.
Slug incident.
R.I.P. her.
On a warm evening in
What the
2000,
hell?
Kihari Pope was just 8 years old. The slug incident.
The slug incident.
On a warm evening in 2010, 19-year-old Sam Ballard was at a party in Sydney, Australia, with his rugby teammates. They were drinking wine in a backyard. The conversation was lighthearted. Then someone spotted a garden slug crawling across the patio. As a joke, one of Sam's friends dared him to swallow it. Everyone laughed. It seemed like harmless fun. Sam picked up the slug and swallowed it whole. Everyone cheered. The party continued. Sam went home that night thinking nothing of it. Days passed. Then Sam began feeling strange. He developed severe pain in his legs. Within weeks, he could barely walk. He went to the hospital. Doctors discovered the slug had carried rat lungworm parasites.
Ooh, wee. Ooh, that is. First of all, who just. Man, you niggas gonna have to kill me before I eat a slug. Just eating bugs? Come on, bro. This nigga got a parasite in his body from doing a dare. Oh my goodness.
The parasites had infected Sam's brain, causing a severe infection called eosinophilic meningoencephalitis. Sam fell into a coma for 420 days. When he finally woke up, he was paralyzed from the neck down. The infection had left him a quadriplegic. He couldn't walk,
Really?
couldn't feed himself, couldn't breathe without assistance. For 8 years, Sam lived with severe disabilities,
Nigga ate a slug and it did this to him?
requiring around-the-clock care. His mother became his full-time caregiver. Sam's friends were devastated by what their dare had caused. In 2018, 8 years after swallowing the slug, Sam Ballard died from complications related to the infection. He was 28 years old. His
Like, bro, it comes to a point where common sense has to kick in, or it's a word for what I'm trying to say, but it's like, bro, no, cuz what do I look like? You do
death
that.
highlighted the hidden dangers that can lurk in seemingly innocent dares. Sam's friends carried the weight of what had happened for the rest of their
As
lives.
they should.
The fireworks
No,
incident.
no, that's not
On
even their fault. That's his fault. You be like, man, y'all crazy as hell. He could have blew that off, bro. But I hate to be insensitive, but like, come on, bro. You could have said, nah, y'all crazy. What they was gonna do? Kill you if you didn't
October
do it?
24th, 2024, during Diwali celebrations in Bengaluru, India, a group of friends gathered to celebrate the Festival of Lights. Fireworks were everywhere. The night air was filled with explosions and colorful displays. The men had been drinking, and the atmosphere was festive and reckless. Someone brought out a large box of fireworks and suggested a dare. They challenged a 32-year-old man in the group to sit on top of the box while they lit the fuses.
Grown
Friends
ass
laughed
man,
and
bro. I
egged
don't
him
feel
on.
bad for
The
him.
man,
I don't feel. What you thought was gonna happen? You thought you was gonna turn into a firecracker?
emboldened by alcohol and peer pressure, agreed. He climbed onto the box and sat down. His friends lit the fireworks. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the entire box exploded beneath him. The force of the blast was catastrophic. The man was thrown into the air. The explosives detonated with tremendous power, causing fatal injuries. Friends screamed and rushed to help, but it was too late. Emergency services arrived
bro,
quickly.
he got
but
through
the man
32 years of life and went out like this. That is crazy.
died at the scene from his injuries. Witnesses told police it had been part of a dare. The case received widespread coverage across
Oh,
India.
I seen
News
this.
outlets showed footage of the aftermath, warning others about the dangers of combining alcohol, fireworks, and peer pressure. The man's family was left to mourn a senseless death.
It's not fun.
His
I'm
friends
not
who had encouraged the
smiling.
dare were left traumatized and guilt-ridden. Authorities used the incident as a warning during future Diwali celebrations. Senior assassin incident. On a day in May
Senior
2025, high school seniors in Arlington, Texas, were participating in Senior Assassin, a popular end-of-school tradition. The game involves students chasing each other with water guns, trying to eliminate opponents. It's meant to be harmless fun, a way for graduating seniors to bond before heading to college. Players track each other's locations and stage surprise attacks. That afternoon, 17-year-old Isaac Leal was participating in the game with friends. They had spotted their target and began pursuit in a Jeep. The chase intensified. The vehicle accelerated through streets. The adrenaline was high. The teenagers were laughing and yelling, caught up in the excitement of the game. As the pursuit continued, Isaac climbed onto the back of the moving Jeep. He was trying to get a better position during the
Alright, bro.
chase.
You doing too much, bro. You could have just hung out the window, bro. You're doing too much, bro. Come on.
Friends later said he was riding on the exterior of the vehicle. Then the Jeep hit a bump in the road. Isaac lost his grip and fell from the moving vehicle onto the street. His head hit the pavement with devastating force. The Jeep screeched to a halt. Friends jumped out, screaming.
Doing
Someone
too much,
called
bro.
emergency services. Isaac was rushed to the hospital with catastrophic head injuries. For weeks, he remained in intensive care, clinging to life. Doctors did everything they could. His family kept vigil at his bedside, but the injuries were too severe. In early June 2025, after weeks in the hospital, Isaac Leal died from his injuries. Investigators confirmed the death occurred during the Senior Assassin game. The incident sparked debate about whether such games should be banned.
Bro, don't
Some schools
blame
across
that
Texas
on,
immediately
bro. Hell no, bro. He did some R.I.P. to him. He did something stupid, and now everybody gotta get punished because he want to hang off a moving car that's going very fast. Come on, bro. It gets to a point, bro.
the tradition. If you'd like to see more stories
It
like
gets
this,
to a point,
make
bro.
sure to
But
subscribe.
nah, let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Which one of these was the worst that y'all seen? I would say the little 8-year-old girl, bro, cause she didn't. They didn't know what they was doing. She didn't know what she was doing. Shit, it's like, bro, innocent life took off a harmless fun game. But no, let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Let me catch you niggas in the next one. Yes, sir.